a major victory.
And Nabil in Paris, let me just jump in there and bring in Nabil Khouri from Paris. Yeah. So we heard from the leader of Hezbollah, Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, who also said the Lebanese government had been very careful to ensure that negotiations and protocols had no hint of, quote, normalization with Israel. In your opinion, do you think it was a difficult balancing act for Lebanon to strike a balance while negotiating this deal? Because, of course, they have a decades-long dispute with Israel, and they've been unable to tap into the offshore energy resources.
Look, ironically, at a very difficult time politically in Lebanon, all three presidents, which means all major factions in Lebanon, agreed that this is a good deal and did not put any spokes in the wheels of the negotiations as they neared a critical end. It's understandable that Mr. Lapid will use this politically to his advantage with an election coming up. But a cold, sober analysis, plus really the American point of view. I mean, Mr. Hochstein never doubted from the beginning that this is about oil and gas. From the American president's point of view, this is about economics. This is about avoiding a war in the region, which would disrupt oil and gas, not only from Israel, which is going to supply a fair amount of it to Europe, but also potentially endangers gas and oil from Egypt, from Cyprus. Nobody wanted to see all these rockets flying about that part of the Mediterranean. But I don't think there were any illusions in Washington or with Mr. Hochstein that this is anything else other than gas, oil, and economics.
Jonathan, I'm going to bring you in just a moment, but first let me just do one follow-up question with you, Nabil Khouri. You say that for the U.S. president, this is about economics, but here's what Biden actually did say. He said that Lebanon and Israel have not only agreed on a provisional maritime separation line, but also have established a permanent maritime boundary. What do you read into that statement? And do you think that the U.S. is going to try to continue to build on this going forward?
Again, politically for Mr. Biden, it serves to put the best political face possible on this. But look, Mr. Hochstein was asked in a talk that he had with the American Lebanese Task Force as the agreement concluded, now that you have done this, why don't you go back and fix the land borders between Israel and Lebanon? And he laughed, he chuckled, he said, thank you very much, but I do have a full-time job to go back to. At this point, the basic problems between Lebanon and Israel are all still there, and they are still dangerous. To draw a line in water is not the same as drawing a line on land. In water, most borders, maritime borders, are negotiated. There's no fast rule about them. And so the fact that the two sides were pragmatic enough to negotiate and conclude an agreement, permanent or not, it does not change anything on the ground.
Right.
The relationship between Israel and Hezbollah,